that the threat call was a hoax. And these are the pictures of that plane having landed in China. Passenger plane, Airbus A340-642 of Mahan Air, that had made an emergency landing in Guangzhou following a bomb threat this morning. And the threat was received while the airplane was flying over India. En route from Iran, it has now made a landing in China. Those are the pictures of that plane on your screen that has made the landing a short while ago. And you would remember how the Indian Air Force had also issued a statement when it was followed by the Sukhoi until it had left the Indian airspace. Sukhoi jets had followed that airplane very, very closely. The flight has now made a landing in Guangzhou in China. The China-bound Mahan Air flight, which had a bomb threat, which was later ruled out, calling it a hoax, has now made a safe landing. The airplane has just halted at that runway. And this is a passenger plane, an Iranian passenger plane, Airbus 340-642 of Mahan Air, that has made an emergency landing. That video here on a Republic of that plane having made an emergency landing in China now. Remember, options were given to that plane to land in India, but the pilot moved ahead. And the airline had also confirmed that the threat call was a mere hoax and nothing more. In fact, the Indian Air Force jets were scrambled after information was received and were following a safe distance as per standard operating procedure. The aircraft was allowed to continue on its flight towards China after Iranian agencies had asked to disregard the threat as per the Indian Air Force. Ankit is joining us from the Mumbai newsroom as we stay with these pictures. Ankit, what's the latest?
The latest is, Suesha, as we can see at the Guangzhou airport, the plane has not been allowed to go right up till the gate. It has been stopped on the runway itself. And these are the breaking visuals that we are getting. It clearly landed about an hour and a half late at the Guangzhou airport. And after it landed, it was stopped on the runway itself. That is from where we are seeing a lot of these passengers deembarking. This comes after the airline itself, Mahan Air, tweeted a statement where it said that this entire incident, this entire snafu was based on a hoax call. The bomb threat was not real. A short while ago, when the plane had flown over Indian airspace, it had taken two loops, one over Pilani, another en route to Delhi, between Rajasthan and Delhi, and then a final loop above Delhi itself. So there were three loops that are very clearly captured in the flight radar of this plane. It then flew over Bangladesh, it flew over Myanmar, halfway across the mainland of China before landing in Guangzhou, which was its eventual destination. Before it landed itself, it was known that it could have been a hoax, but now we are seeing the visuals of this plane on the runway itself. The Chinese authorities clearly taking all kinds of precautions. They have not let it come near to the airport in case there is any kind of incident. The passengers are being deboarded right there on the spot, and the plane, I presume, is going to be undergoing some kind of ground inspection to ensure that there is indeed nothing on board that could be suspicious or harmful or dangerous, and in fact the bomb threat was a hoax. So that is what we are receiving right now, visuals from China, difficult to come by, but they are there, just a few of them that indicate that there was definitely something about this plane that had triggered a hoax. And the Chinese authorities also are not necessarily entirely satisfied with Iran's claim that it was a hoax. They will investigate it for themselves, I am sure.
Absolutely, Ankit, they will. And we are awaiting the exact information on what had happened, because there has been a lot of concern since this morning, especially in India, because it was flying in the Indian airspace, and options were also given as is per the statement released by the Indian Air Force, but the plane chose to fly, or I beg your pardon, the pilot chose to fly, and then again The Indian Air Force had also said that Sukhoi jets were tracking that plane very closely at a safe distance as per standard operating procedure until it had left the Indian airspace. Now, of course, it has landed safely, but since morning, a lot of commotion, of course.
Yes, definitely a lot of commotion. This is a large plane, Suesha. It's not a small plane. It is a long-haul, wide-bodied plane. It is an Airbus A340-600 series aircraft that has a capacity of between 320 to about 450. So there was clearly enough cause for an alarm.
All right, Ankit, for the moment, I want to thank you for getting us all these details and, of course, awaiting a